we are recording. Audio levels seem to be good. You sound good. I sound good.
Vibe check.
Vibes are good. You got water?
Hell yeah.
I got water. I also got my brother picked me up some Burger King.
Oh, nice.
Nothing is more American than starting this off by having a nice bacon cheeseburger, I should say.
Yeah, unironically, I had a turkey burger with cheese right before this.
Nice. Maybe that's how we should start this off.
We ate burgers. We're American.
Cue the intro.
I ain't goddamn gonna pull the trigger in the land of the free. This land belongs to me. I'ma make you dance, you run up and move your feet. Yeah, my triple great granddaddy got this land for free. Pass it down to me, now I'm spraying DDT. I'm a monoculture, I gotta fertilize my dirt.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our first episode of this Star Spangled Spectacular, the series where we are going to be covering all of the Captain America films, at least the MCU Captain America films. I know there was one made in the 90s. We're not going to cover that one.
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. This, by all means, Captain America the First Avenger, is the start of our series. It is the oldest in the timeline of the MCU. So yeah, this is basically Captain America's origin story. This is the traditional skinny kid, takes some super soldier drugs, and punches Nazis. And that's pretty much this movie.
Yeah, them steroids hit different.
I don't think I've seen this since 2011. I watched this a couple times at home. I really enjoyed it, but then I just never watched it again, mostly because there was other Marvel MCU stuff that I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this some other time, or if I ever do a rewatch. And upon rewatching it, this movie's fun.
Yeah, very, very good movie.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of it? Especially knowing that this film is in a different era. This is World War II film. What did you think of it?
Environment and pacing is well done. And yeah, it is a fun movie. It's very America. Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing more American than punching Nazis, in my opinion. And that should always be the case.
Yes.
This is probably the one series we might get political on.
I mean, considering what the movies are usually about, I think it's like the one movie series where it's basically politics.
Yeah, this is the one where we're going to get very political. Maybe not in this film because it's kind of simplistic. The one thing I appreciate about this film is it feels like an old, pulpy serial film. Those films that he was making, for the war bond sequences? This feels like one of those, and there's clear good guys, there's clear bad guys. The main hero is this larger-than-life symbol for America, and he's just punching Nazis. It reminds me of Indiana Jones, Zorro. You got your Flash Gordon kind of stuff, where it just feels really pulpy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I know what you mean, but I'm just gonna say I do.
Okay, this is really showing my nerdy cap here.
Honestly, it's not even that. I just need to watch more movies.
Well, I'm talking old school films where they're black and white. Someone punches another dude and then gives a nickel to a little boy and it was all dirty in a ball cap or something like that. It's that kind of old school filmmaking where it's just the good guys are good and the bad guys are really bad.
You know what? I think you're onto something.
Yeah, because there's that moment in the film where he's chasing after that one Nazi, or Hydra agent, I should say. The guy has the kid up to gunpoint. The gun doesn't work or something like that, and he just throws the kid. And then Cap goes to save the kid. The kid's like, I can swim! Go get him!
Yeah.
I was like, that feels really old school in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about Captain America, I think we should probably talk about Steve, played by Chris Evans, who, before doing this film, he was famous for being the Human Torch, or at least in the comic book scene.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen those movies in ages either.
Yeah, I haven't either, and it's so weird to go back and see him as that character, especially since this is post-Deadpool and Wolverine. But no, seeing him as Captain America now, I can't see him as any other character. He just plays, a really upstanding, nice guy very well. So to see him be a total dick in everything else he does, it's impressive. I don't know, it seems like Chris Evans genuinely wanted to delve deep into what makes this character special, and I think he genuinely does that throughout all these films.
Yeah, he has become very easily the face of Captain America, and his acting job is just it's too good.
No, it
It's
is.
like if you see him in real life, you're like, holy shit, it's Captain America.
Captain America, like in most, but not all interpretations, is very much the blue Boy Scout goody two shoes character, and in a lot of comic books, that could get really annoying, especially if it's not written well. I don't think all Captain America comics deal with some level of like, how can we represent America in one man? And whenever it's an X-Men comics, he's a racist. Whenever it's his own comics or an Avengers comic, he's an upstanding dude. He represents like the ability that everybody could become something greater. The American dream idea. And what I think about like Chris Evans is he represents that like larger than life American dream very well, because when you see in the film, like when he's really skinny, you see that even though he's really skinny, he has this really big heart.
Yeah.
And even though he gets ridiculously swole, the thing that stays the same is that he has a really big heart for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, except for bullies.
Yeah. Well, one thing I really like about the character, and I kind of put it in my notes here, is that you know the joke that everybody makes that if Captain America were to come back, like, you know, he gets frozen and then comes back to the modern age, he'd be racist and homophobic and yada yada yada. I take it you've heard that joke.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, the thing I like that this film addresses is that the reason why he goes to war is not to punch Nazis and like kill people. It is to just save other people. He doesn't, again, as you said, he doesn't like bullies.
Yeah.
And I think there's a moment where like he goes into like his second, at least second in the movie, medical checkups before, you know, they enlist you. And he's talking with the doctor, and the doctor asks him like, so you want to kill Nazis? And he's just like, no, I just don't like bullies, and I want to help people any way I can. And I think that line just goes to show why this Captain America, if brought into the future, would not be racist.
A thing I noticed is that in the movie, in his own squadron, when he gets, you know, when he assembles his squadron, one of his members is black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another one is Japanese.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's also this neat little, like, proto-Avengers team that he assembles here, if you really think about it.
Now that I think about it, you might be honest.
Yeah, so I like that the Howling Commandos are in this, because they're a fun, like, little group of characters from, like, old school World War II Marvel comics. Or maybe, I don't know. I can't remember the specific era of Marvel comics, but they're in a particular niche period of Marvel comics that were basically about, like, what if we just focused on soldiers instead of superheroes? I like the Howling Commandos in this movie. I like Dum Dum Dugan, the guy with the bowler cap and the big mustache. He's fun. I do like that they at least address at one point in the movie, like, there being a Japanese person on the team. One of the soldiers goes like, hey, why is this guy in my cell? And he's just like, I'm from Fresno. Which I was genuinely shocked that they brought that up at all in this movie. Because we keep saying that he punches Nazis, but really in this film in particular, they kind of move past the whole Nazi thing and just say, this is Hydra.
Yeah, it really is just like a Hydra thing. Yeah,
it's... Because if he's fighting like real world Nazis thing, you know what I mean? It would be a little... be a little disrespectful. So I appreciate them just being like, okay, it's Hydra.
I feel like you can use them interchangeably in a sense. You know, technically speaking, they're not Nazis, but they represent the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think even Red Skull in the film says, like, my ambition has gone past what Hitler wants. And I'm just like, oh, so you're basically super Hitler.
Yeah.
So these are super Nazis. So it's funny to think, these guys are so bad. Nazis are like, yo, man, you gotta chill.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
They even refer to these guys as a cult. So it's like, you guys are fucking weird, man. We don't like what you're doing here. What did you think of Red Skull? I'm genuinely curious. Now that we're talking about Hydra.
I'm not gonna say he's an interesting villain. He gets the villain role done, and he does it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's clearly insane, but he has ideas, and I don't know. He's a good first villain.
Yeah.
He's one of those characters that has the same power as a hero. You know, it's like I'm you,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm you, but red. I mean, for the first film out the gate, it makes sense because it's supposed to show, like, if someone were to get these super soldier serum powers, they would get fucked up because it really depends on how good of a person you are.
yeah.
Which, I don't know if DNA could read morals, but
Apparently, it can.
but I guess for this film, sure. Because in the transformation sequence, they make a deal of, like, you gotta be injected, and then you gotta, like, be bombarded with Vita rays, or this big light. So maybe he just didn't go through the light part, so his skin just kind of got fucked up.
Yeah, actually, if I remember correctly, Red Skull took an incomplete version of the serum.
Yeah, that too. But I thought he was a fun villain. It's just knowing where this series goes with its villains. He is the least interesting one of them all, just because he is kind of one note. And I think Hugo Weaving does a good job portraying that one note, especially like, okay, we need you to be bad. You are a super Nazi. And he's like, got it.
Yeah.
I mean, for Christ's sake, he's a fucking skull. Like, he's practically a He-Man villain.
Oh, dang, you right, though.
Yeah, he's one bit off from being Skeletor without magic. Well, actually, he's got lasers and shit in this film, so who knows? I like Red Skull in that sense of just, like, he is the epitome of evil. And I'm kind of glad that he was a one-and-done villain. I don't really need to see him more. I mean, it is interesting where he ends up being in, like, Infinity War and Endgame.
I think that just raises more questions than it answers.
Uh-huh.
But they can all be answered with Tesseract.
Yeah. Why is this Nazi a ghost now? What did you think of the design of the Red Skull?
The design? Oh, I think the design is great. Like,
Okay.
You know, you see this guy in real life, you're creeped the hell out. This man looks horrifying.
He does look unsettling. The only thing I have a problem with, in some scenes, it looks very plasticky.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I love, like, the idea of it's all negative space. Like, he has no ears, he has no nose. Like, the whatever the latex makeup is so tight on his skin, it's like, it's practically his skull. The only thing I have a problem with is that it looks like makeup.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when you have it in, like, certain lighting, it looks like plastic or latex that's just on his skin. I don't know. To be fair, for the vibe they're going with this film, it works. So if they were to go, like, that extra step to be, like, it's a skinless face kind of thing, I think that would have also been a step in the wrong direction.
Honestly, it really would have. That would have been worse.
It would have left more of an impact of, like, this dude is unsettling to look at. But, I mean, for, again, a pulpy World War II film, this works fine. I guess other things I kind of want to mention are just some of the side characters in this film. One that I really have to point out, and we'll talk more about him in the later films. Sebastian Stan is such a great find as Bucky.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially how he's portrayed in this film. He portrays, like, best friend very well. He's just one of the bros. He's just Cap's best friend. You genuinely feel bad when he falls off the freight car.
Yeah, he's just... Honestly, I don't have much to say other than what you just said.
Okay. I mean, more of the interesting stuff with this character happens in the later stuff, so I get it, but I just want to point out for this review, he's such a great find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that we gotta mention is Peggy. I really like Peggy in this film.
I don't think I can name a single person who doesn't like Peggy.
That's fair. I know What If has done some interesting stuff with this character.
Yeah.
But for right now, I'll say she's tough. She has a good heart. She's fine as fuck. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with me here.
My opinion is that Peggy is the girl boss we needed the whole time.
Mm-hmm. The OG girl boss.
Yeah, she was girling and bossing it before we was.
Before the term was even made. I really like the character. I love her relationship with Cap. There's a little bit of a weird moment in the film where, like, some girl kisses him and she takes it the wrong way.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want him, then you should have put a ring on it.
Well, they promised to dance. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know who's a guy I always forget's in this film? Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always forget he's in this film.
He does a good general.
Yeah, he's a great general. He's really fun. Like, it reminds me of his role in Men in Black. That really uptight old mentor character. They give him the most American meal of steak and a glass of milk at one point in the film. And I don't know what it is. That combination has always stuck with me. Even though I haven't seen this film in a while, I will always remember this film for that for some reason. I was just like, steak and a glass of milk. I guess that's a hearty meal.
I mean, that surely is something.
Yeah.
Like, when you say steak, it's usually wine or maybe water if you really are thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
But milk?
That's the whole life cycle of a cow right there. That's like the most produced American thing to think of. Just, we're gonna take the whole life cycle of a cow and just put it on this one little meal here.
You are absolutely correct. That's just a cow.
That's just the cow. That's the mom and the dad. Another character we could talk about real quick. What did you think of Howard Stark?
I think it was done good enough.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get a lot of screen time.
I thought he was in this more originally. Especially, how important Howard Stark's relationship is to Captain America, at least how it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
In, the later films. I thought they were, buddy, but they were, really good friends. And in this film, they just seem like it's the James Bond Q relationship, where it's just I go to you so that you give me gadgets.
Yeah, that's literally it.
I mean, you get to see the shield. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. I love seeing Captain America hit motherfuckers with that shield.
Listen here, it's the most perfect shield on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. There's a moment where he hurls that motherfucker up in the trees and knocks a sniper out, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
It's bouncy if you throw it hard enough. You can't.
Yeah.
You think it would cut through someone, but it's surprisingly not that sharp.
Yeah. I'm sorry, a rare earth metal going at fuck you miles per hour at your head, you're dead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're dead.
If that's not a concussion, at the very least, that's it.
If that aims at your face, your jaw, your nose, and your eyes are all gone. I'm sorry. I mean, it's the shield. It's classic. I kind of want to ask you real quick, costume-wise, because sometimes when in these movies we do talk about the costumes, especially for, the old X-Men stuff. When we did X-Marathon, we talked about costumes. What did you think of the gradual, evolution and upgrades of the costume?
I think it was a good upgrade. It was also funny to see Captain America be basically a walking advertisement.
Yeah, for war bonds.
Yeah, and then he actually gets the Captain America suit. Mm-hmm. With the whole whatever, and it's like, oh my goodness, they made Uncle Sam real.
Yeah, he's got the little wings on the side. I mean, as an adaptation of the original comic book suit, it's great. I love the suit that he gets at the end of the film, the one that's all Kevlar and padded up and pouches everywhere that makes it look like a tactical World War II suit that's brightly colored. I even like the idea of, to keep the wings on his costume, they just painted on, old World War II bomber, paint decals on the side of bomber jets and stuff like that. But one suit that I really like is the costume he wears when he goes to save all those POWs. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Was that his, first actual mission? Where he just
Yeah, it's the one where he's wearing, the flight jacket, the Captain America blue onesie top, so it's got the star and the stripes on the abs. He has a helmet on that's a blue helmet with an A on it. He's got the flight goggles and stuff. I really like that version of the costume. I don't know what it is. It's just so simple that it's really fun to look at.
It feels like it'd be real. If there were to be a theoretical Captain America who had to run out on the scene in semi-casual clothing, he would wear that.
I really like that design, and it never really gets the recognition I think it really deserves, because it's this great middle ground between like classic Captain America and the Captain America we get at the end of the film. It's like this nice in-between period of like, this is who he wants to be, a soldier, but or not even a soldier, someone who does something good. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really have for notes. I mean, if you want to talk about the ending, go right ahead.
I don't have much to say about the ending, except for that I find their choice of waking him up very interesting. Put him in a fake room and accidentally immediately get exposed because you played the wrong baseball track.
Yeah. By the way, whoever did that is immediately fired.
Oh, definitely.
That's a Village and origin story that we need now.
That, yes.
That's a great point, actually. But one thing I do like about this ending is it's subtle and it's not subtle, of very much like the idea of like soldiers coming back from home and not recognizing it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is just way different in that like it's a freaking different time period.
Oh, yeah, you go on the war for 3 years, it's nothing special. You come back, and all of a sudden they have flying cars.
Yeah, you fly. I mean, if we're going by like MCU logic too, there's a man flying in a suit of armor that was the son of the man you worked with. So that's gotta fuck you up in the head a little bit. But I don't know. I like how bittersweet the ending is in this film, and not like, oh yeah, we won, but he never got that dance.
He never got that dance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can end this off there. As I said earlier, I think this film is super fun. I genuinely think that as like an introduction for Captain America, this is the best way to do it. This sets up who he is as a character, his morals, why he believes in those morals, and what I think the sequels, what we'll talk about in the next episode, is how the morals set up in this film are challenged in the next films. Yeah, that's my final thought. Do you have anything to say before we wrap this one up?
Honestly, the upcoming movies have a lot to unpack.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to talk about those too. But in order to get to them, we have to talk about this one. I guess we can end these reviews off by saying, punch your local Nazi.
Punch your local Nazi.
All right,
you know where to find them.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
You know where to find. You know what? Heck, bring your neighbor with you. They'll enjoy it. They'll have fun.
Nothing brings people together better than punching Nazis.
Exactly.
All right. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more from our Star Spangled Marathon, hit that subscribe button. We're doing all of these reviews in preparation for Captain America Brave New World. Stay tuned for that video. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Have a good day. Bye.
Skirt, skirt.